Hey y'all, and welcome back to another fan mini episode of Catch That, where we get to know our friends through their favorite R&B songs. I am Naturally Elise, and that is my bro.
JR.
And we are the R&B representatives. And today we are welcoming Easy. Hey.
What's up, y'all? It's Easy Money. It's good to be here.
Yes. So how about you tell the folks a little bit about yourself, as little or as much as you like to tell us?
Man, I'm just a regular old music lover like everybody else here, you know. I do a little MCing, a little singing. I got music out there that y'all can check out. I'm at Easy Money ST everywhere. That's all I got.
He said little. A little spitting and a little singing. Yeah, okay.
You know.
When y'all see what he do, it ain't little at all.
He said it, not me.
I'm gonna do you like JR do me. Own it. Own
right.
it.
No, own it.
I mean, it's about the R&B today, though. You know what I mean?
That's sweet. Well, how about you tell the folks what song you picked as one of your favorite R&B songs, and when you remember first hearing it?
I chose Michael Jacson, my favorite. Rock With You, just because me being in a very, very good space as of late. The song just brings a lot of good memories. It's a good energy. I believe that when you talk about a feel good record, this embodies it completely. So I went with that one, you know.
Yeah, it's the epitome of a feel good record. Like you can't frown with rock with you on. Rock What You On. I dare you to frown up.
Oh, y'all going hard already.
when that comes on, like if you don't start moving immediately, you are like a miserable person.
You're a vegetable. You're a vegetable.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Something's wrong. You have a problem. But it gets you from the break, from the drums.
Yep.
Like, yo, David
mesmerizing, the melodies, mesmerizing and all that. It's dope. That's just one of my joints ever since, since as far as I can remember, to be honest. Because the song's older than me.
Yeah, it's older than me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Me and that song the same age.
You look good too, sis.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Hey,
and that says a lot. That says a lot about, obviously the song, the artist, because we always have the debates, the fun debates. Who's the GOAT? Who's the king? Right? And while you might like, JR might like Stevie, and Elise, you might like Marvin Gaye, and somebody else might like Prince, and I like MJ. And while that's all very subjective, I believe that the one thing that you can't really dispute is that no artist transcends the generations like Michael.
Nope. I agree.
I can't think of one, because there's a child that was born today that in 10 years is going to be crazy about Michael Jackson.
That's true.
I've seen it a billion times. To this day, I don't believe any artist transcends generations like he does. You know what I mean? Like, there's still kids these days that are like, he's been dead what? Rest in peace. He's been dead what? 13 years now?
Yeah.
It's 5-6-year-olds that do Michael Jackson dances and all that. So I don't believe any artist has done that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't really think anyone does that. You know what I mean? So anybody in that conversation, just what I'm saying. So
I don't think that's the case in any genre.
Not at all.
Any genre that you could say that about anyone.
So like I said,
genre know him.
Yeah, like, what you like is what you like. But when it comes to that, like, he's unfuckwittable.
That's true.
I can curse. My fault. I can curse.
Oh, listen.
Have we met? Okay. Oh, I guess we haven't personally met, but yes.
You good.
All right, cool.
You good. No, you good. And then to think that, like, Elise brought up in another show that we had, I think somebody else picked the Michael joint, and she was like, you never realize how, like, Michael was so young You know what I'm saying? And then he was a star for so long, even before becoming a solo star. Like that dude has transcended, you know what I'm saying? So he's been a star his whole life. And that's crazy to me. Like, it's just like, it just goes to show how big of a star he is, because people think that Off the Wall is his first solo album.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody
what you said is absolutely true. One, but that really struck me because, you know, like I said, he's been around longer than I have, but that really struck me when I watched the Janet documentary. That, you know what I'm saying? When you see them, like, you know, coming up, and I'm like, damn, Michael been around like literally forever.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, that kind of struck me. Like, that part right there just kind of struck me recently.
Yeah. And then he became his own once. I think him going to Gamble and Huff, that's when he really started to have his artistry come out. And then when he got with Quincy, it was a wrap. Like, them two got together after the Wiz and was like, we about to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got with this Off the Wall album and they had nothing to lose. It was just like, yo, we just gonna do music and don't give a damn what we get, and we just gonna have a jamming session. Because if you listen to this and you listen to this whole album, it's a jam session. Like, come on, like, how you coming in with drums like this? Then a flute. Like, how you got a flute, like, in the break? Like, who do that? Like, I don't, like, that shit is crazy to me. Like, they was just like, all right, come on. You know what I mean? We're going to throw a flute in there.
Like, release the flutes.
Yeah, like, it's all crazy to me, y'all. And then to get all the people in there, to know that Rob Temperton came from Heat Wave, you know what I'm saying? And then for him to write this song, and he knew.
I was going to say, he wrote the record, right? Yeah,
yeah. And he knew that he had he knew Michael like rhythm type arrangements. And then Michael's backgrounds is not discussed a lot either. Like, his backgrounds on this record is magic to me, yo. Like, sometimes I just want to hear that. Like, for real, like, the way.
I feel like his voice, specifically his voice is not really like discussed enough.
That's true.
Yeah,
everyone just talks about Michael in general. Nobody really pinpoints the voice. The voice, the uniqueness, the originality of it, how great it is, how you know, how clear, how crispy it is. It's just fire. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I don't think how he was able to adapt to it. Like, as a kid, you just singing, don't care, you know what I mean? Then he got into them teenage years and was like, he started to find his voice and started to learn it and started to do other things with it. And then I think Quincy was open to him, like, yo, sing the way you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, put feeling in it, do all this. Because you know, when he was down with Motown and them, they just like, little boys sing and we get into songs and do what you do. Like, that's it. And he was just happy to be there. You know what I'm saying? So it really didn't matter.
As anybody else would, you know what I mean?
Right. He's just like, all right, I'll do it. Then once you start getting older and it's like, I don't want to be singing these little popcorn ass songs and I'm fucking 17. Like, that shit sounds stupid. Like, what the hell? They was like, we got to get up out of here, yo. Like, Joe was like, we got to roll. We got to send them to Gamble and Huff. And I think he started to watch what they did. And once he got with Quincy, it was a rap. And you get songs like Rock With You. Like, you
Quincy
can play this anywhere, anytime. And you can realize who the fake in there. Because if the fake person, you can realize if they ain't moving when that, I'm like, yo, get away from me, yo. You ain't
like,
real.
You're not here for a good time. Like, you here for you know what I mean?
You here for the bull crap. You here for the bull crap. You know what I mean?
And speaking of Quincy too, like, I watched his little documentary and I wasn't really hip to how serious that was either. I was watching that like, holy shit. You know, I know, obviously I know Quincy, but he goes back, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I was watching that shit. I'm like, yo, this dude literally like draws music, like designs. That shit was wild to me, bro. Like,
yeah, yo, it was like, he was like, I call him like the black music architect. Like,
really, that's literally what he did with it.
Yeah, like he down with like Frankie and, you know what I'm saying, Dean Martin and all them and Sarah Vaughan and doing all that with them. And just to know,
I wasn't hip to that at all.
Yeah, I knew with Sarah Vaughan because I love her. I love Sarah Vaughan, so I knew he was down with that. But I did not know Frankie.
And you know what? I did know a lot about Quincy before the documentary, but that was a documentary that did a good job of me, a music head, somebody who researches, to where I learned a lot.
Yeah,
I thought I knew. You know, I was all cocky.
I thought I knew too. What? Shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's just whatever. I'm just gonna. Nah. I was like, oh snap. Okay.
And that's why people always try to think that he's just Michael, because them two were so huge together. Like,
you're right. Yep.
Yeah, they was on social media talking about Michael made Quincy. Nah, Quincy was already somebody, and then they made magic together. They made each other. If you want to keep it a buck.
Phil Jackson and Michael right there, you know what I mean?
You know, music don't exist in a vacuum, so everybody make each other, and different magic has to happen for things, you know, to come about.
Exactly.
I just hate that. I hate that real myopic, real tunnel vision of seeing things in that way. And I hate that.
And when they did that, they skipped this album and went straight to Thriller. They was like, that's when Quincy became so huge. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all. We just not gonna miss Off the Wall. Like, this never happened. And it was all about Thriller. I'm like,
you know what I think it is though?
Yeah.
You know what I think it is? I just, it's just these documentaries that they don't do any justice, because you got to make them a series.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not, you know, I'm not gonna jump completely off topic, but what they're doing with the Wu-Tang, how they're doing like seasons, that's how you got to do a lot of this shit.
Exactly.
You can't do a movie or All Eyes on Me or a Notorious or Straight Outta Compton, and that's it. You need a series.
Cause look, I'm a regular ass nigga, and you couldn't do no hour or 2 hour documentary about my life, and I'm just a regular ass nigga.
Everybody's that was good. I like that.
But everybody's story is complex and different. So if you're gonna take the time and the money to do that, you might as well go hard.
You can't squeeze 40 years in 2 hours. You can't do that.
And you see, even with New Edition, they did a 3-night episode thing.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
There was so much left out, bro. Like,
oh my god.
Like when they came back, when they went back to the projects and the big performers at MTV, I feel like there was key things that they left out. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, we talked dark.
They did like 6 joints. Yeah, yeah. And then, you know, if you're gonna do Quincy, like, it's wild. Like I like you said, Elise, I watched that documentary like thinking I was hip, and I was like, yo, I pretty much ain't no shit. No, because you watch the documentaries, right? For example, I'll give you the most recent one, the Kanye one, right? Okay. And I pretty much was hip to everything except for the little details within what was happening.
Gotcha.
Other than that, I knew what happened. I knew what fucking year the album dropped. I knew he produced a blueprint. I knew all his credits. I'm the most liner note reading motherfucker you know. I'm liner note Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I knew everything he produced. So I'm like, I'm not gonna really learn much here. And like the personal stuff that I don't care about is what I learned. With Quincy, it was a complete learning experience. I'm like, I didn't know he did that. I didn't know he did that. I didn't know he did that. You know, so that was dope, because, you know, a lot of people, they do want to like kind of like limit him to Michael. And, you know, I knew it wasn't just Michael, but I didn't know specifically how it really was. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then to think that because he was, I mean, just because him doing the score of the Wiz was the reason why them two linked for him doing the score with the Wiz. And he was just like, well, Michael, what you doing? Well, I ain't doing nothing, but what you doing? All right, let's do something.
And then it's annoying that they skip over Off the Wall to me, because that bridged the gap from the Gamble and Huff sound that they had into that the Jacksons had into what you got as a solo and Thriller. It's in the middle. It's almost a mashup of what happened on Thriller and what happened in the last 2 Jacksons albums.
Am I alone? Am I alone that I prefer Off the Wall to Thriller? Am I alone?
Oh, absolutely not. You're absolutely on the right show.
You're on the right show, buddy.
And listen, I love Thriller. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Thriller. So I believe it's a masterpiece as well. I just prefer, for me, you know what I mean? But it was just it's the most sellingest album in the history of the planet. So that's obviously going to get all the attention. You know what I mean?
Obviously.
But like musically, what album, the first 3 songs gonna give you a Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Rock With You, Working Day and Night? Don't worry, I'll wait. I can't think of an album that come in that hard.
Then get on the floor and then off the wall.
Yeah.
Like, it don't, yo, the first 5 songs is hitting you hard. Like,
just boom, 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 boom.
Just straight.
You know, it's wild. It's wild to think about how, like, you look at Michael's track list and it's like, these are all singles.
Yo,
smash hits. These all had a fucking 5, 6, 7 minute video. It's just wild. It's like the timelessness. We're looking back. What did we say? We're 33, 43. Hold on, how old is this album? 43. 40? All right, 43 years old. Yeah. But it's just like it's like you know, now we in the era where it's like, you know, you play the album for you know, let me put it this way. Taylor Talk 4 drops at midnight, and I already heard it 3 times. I probably forget about it next week.
Facts.
And it hasn't even dropped officially yet. And you know, when you think back to this shit, this motherfucker had 8 tracks on the album, 8 singles, an hour-long movie, right? It's wild, man. Like the evolution, if you want to call it that, it's just crazy. It's
and
wild.
I just don't understand how, as much as these songs were so big, he didn't, like, I don't even understand how he didn't win nothing for Rock With You. Like,
yeah.
Like, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough with just disco stuff. I'm like, Rock With You is a R&B. I get Don't Stop Till You Get Enough the time and all that, but it's timeless still, but it fit with that whole disco stuff. Rock With You is just an R&B record. Like,
you don't feel like it fits, like Rock With You got the disco?
A little bit, just because it, like a little bit, but I just feel like that, I guess the breakdown, it kind of gives you, you know, Studio 54 kind of dancing a little bit. But I feel like that song is just such an R&B record. Like, why didn't that get something? You know what I mean? And I think that's when Michael, again, was pissed. Because he like, yo, I had 7 singles off this shit and I ain't get no album of the year nomination, nothing. Like,
I mean, I believe it was at times as well. You know what I'm saying? I think that Thriller is held in higher regard because it broke, like the barrier was completely broken. Like, off the wall, they weren't ready.
Yeah.
Then the white people wasn't completely ready.
No, they
then it was
weren't.
like, all right, by Thriller was like, all right, we kind of got no choice. There's motherfuckers everywhere. Like, we gotta
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a time thing.
Yeah, because even though, and I think Michael was like, you know what? I'm gonna make y'all motherfuckers like this next shit. Y'all ain't gonna have no choice. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking the technology change. I'm taking out real drums. I'm taking out all that. So everybody can rock with you. Because I think Michael was like, my people gonna like it regardless. I already know I got them. I'm trying to get y'all. And I had y'all, but y'all was on the low with your shit. You ain't gonna have no choice with it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got no choice with the shit now. I'm gonna have y'all doing the Beat It joint in y'all trying to do the choreography in your house. That's how shit I want to get. You know what I mean? Like, man.
You know what I wanted to mention in regards to Rock With You is, you know, we mentioned Rod, you know, who wrote the record.
Yeah.
And there's a part that really sticks out to me where he says, when you dance, it's a magic that must be love. Like, that's bars right there, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is bars, bro. Like, and you know, the upbeat, I feel like the upbeat records are mostly like real simple. They don't really get, you know, they never really get profound and shit like that.
Nah.
But when I heard that shit, I'm like, damn, bro. Like, you know?
Yeah, he's like, you know, that love. He's like, you know, that love survives.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit
that
hard,
little line there is profound as well.
Yeah,
it just brings you together. It just brings everybody together. That's what music's supposed to do.
That's what music is supposed to do in general, bro.
Yeah, and this is the type of record that I can see everybody singing along to, at all ages, all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then the instrumentation of it. You know what I mean? You got freaking Bobby Watson that's on the bass. He's killing it on there. You know, he done did stuff with Rufus and Shaka Khan and all them. You know what I mean? So he's dope on it. And then we all know what the fuck I love. Them damn horns, baby. Yes, sir. What? What? The trombone, like everything musically about this song just fits perfectly to me. Like
it's a perfect record, and he has a lot to them. And I always say that if you can easily pick a favorite song from an artist, their catalog is not that heavy. If you could easily pick one. Ooh, but I always go back to this one, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just like, I really think this is my favorite Michael Jackson record. And I say I think because it's so many, like, you drop Remember the Time on me right now and be like, oh shit, nah, it's this one. You hit me with, you know what I'm saying? Like, or you hit me with, you know what I'm saying? Like just on this album, like, I love Working Day and Night. I love Fucking Girlfriend. I love all that shit. You know, so he got a lot of joints, you know, Human Nature, obviously. Countless records. And I'm just like, damn, which one do I like the best? I don't know. You know?
What do y'all like, because y'all know people have redone it, right?
Rock With You?
Yeah.
Who has?
Randy and Heavy D did it on Quincy's album.
Oh, damn. I mean,
I don't remember that. I don't know.
You know what? Now that you mention it, I remember it, but I definitely forgot about that for as long as it's been out.
Yeah, and I think people probably use more of the sample with it. Like, I know, you know, the girl from Murder Inc., catch what I'm throwing. She used it at her one of her remixes. She used it for.
That was one of her like Rock With You was like one of her songs, right?
Yeah, and then she used it for the Herb was like, let's use it for the remix.
That's kind of disrespectful. You gotta relax, but
that was a song. Oh baby.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
But, yeah. But you know, I mean, you always gonna get that, you know what I'm saying? And you know, the you know, Michael has thousands of sons out there. that just comes with the territory, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, when you great, and it's not a bad thing, you know, it's perfectly fine to be influenced and inspired by greatness, you know, that's just natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even Kobe copied MJ, you know what I'm saying? Is what it is.
That's real. That's real there. Oh, that's real.
Yeah, everything has a source, you know. Everybody copied Michael, and Michael is inspired by James Brown. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's a lineage. It's a lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
it's just about finding yourself. Like you draw inspiration from somebody, and then you know you just out there. You kind of like somebody makes you want to do it, right? You hear somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear somebody, and then you start doing it. You kind of start mimicking them.
Yeah.
And then you know when you start like making music, you kind of like find yourself. You know, everyone comes in and is like, oh, he sound like this guy. And then they kind of break out of it.
Right.
You know, eventually they break out of it because they find themselves, you know. The real artists do anyway, you know what I mean?
And then the one that right. Like I said, and then Michael respected the ones that came before him. You know what I mean? Like, like Michael ended up getting all those, like, he got the publishing for all those older artists back then and gave it back to him for free. That's some real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he like, yo, y'all paved the way for me to do this now. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give it y'all publishing back. Like, y'all go ahead and take it. Y'all make the money off it. He paid for David Ruffin's funeral. Like, he paid for Jackie Wilson's stuff. Like, the dudes that he really loved, he went and did what he did. Like,
he also didn't know what to do with all that money though, too.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I love the guys that came before me, but God forbid Nas dies, I can't pay for your funeral, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's just like, you know, he just got money. He got money laying around, that motherfucker. Like, yo, here you go. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's the luxury we all don't have, but you know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real. That's real. Oh, this is such a great song. God, y'all gonna have me blasting.
It is, man. And you know, like I said, man, I feel like, you know, with the world kind of, you know, coming back, you know, from this whole thing.
Yeah.
And you know, we're probably gonna end up like going out again soon and all that. This has gotta be this record, right? This is a bomb, man. Don't matter what year it is. It don't matter where you at, whether you at you at the barbecue, you in a jam, you at a Sweet 16, you in a prom, white people, black people, anybody. Like, this is a bomb right here. This is timeless. It feels good. Like we said earlier, it's the epitome of a feel good record. And you know, you know, you having a bad day, your baby mom stressing you, this song come out, just walk the fuck out the room because you're gonna fuck up my vibe and we're gonna have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
That's it.
Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's real.
Well, yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with us and hanging out with us. Cutting
Thank
up
you for
a little
having
bit.
me. I appreciate y'all taking the time to invite little old me on the show.
Listen,
Oh,
man.
stop it.
Come on
Y'all the
now.
R&B raps, yo. Like,
listen, yo, when I saw when you was on Kill Show, I was like, sis, we gotta get him. We gotta get him. We gotta get Easy on the show.
R&B rap.
Nah,
But
yo, you lying
listen,
no king.
Listen, while I am an MC at heart and first, I did drop an R&B EP recently, a few months back. So if y'all could check that out, that would be dope.
Mm-hmm.
Tell
Tell folks where they can find it.
You can stream it everywhere. It's Easy Money, and it's called Guapi Chulo. That's my R&B alter ego. Guapi Chulo. It's a 4-song EP. You know, I think I did my thing. You know, I'd love for y'all to listen to it. The R&B reps themselves.
He did.
Give me a couple minutes of your time and let me know what you think.
Okay. Will do.
Word.
Well, hopefully we can have you back.
Okay.
Hopefully we can have you back.
I'm here.
Pick another song you love and we can chop it up for sure.
Hey, listen, I love talking music, man. If our schedules align, let's do it. I'm with it.
Yeah, listen, we got thousands and millions of songs. You can pick anyone.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
Oh yeah. Well,
thank you.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night. Stay blessed.
Yeah. And we want to thank everybody for continuing to support us. Share the link with your peoples. If you know some people that want to hear people talk about music and just really dig in. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff.
Shit. Don't be a fucking hater. Share that shit.
You heard the man.
Much. I can say that. You know what I mean? It's not my show. I can say that. Don't be a fucking hater. Share that shit.
Yes. And we will catch y'all on the next Catch That. Peace, y'all. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another fan mini episode of Catch That, where we get to know our friends through their favorite R&B songs. I am Naturally Elise, and that's my bro,
JR, and
we are the R&B representatives. And today we are bringing on a new friend of the show. Yeah. And I have somebody prefer to be called, but I like to keep it short. Try. Hey, Try. I like that. Yeah, and tell the folks a little bit about yourself, as much or as little as you'd like to tell folks.
I'm from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. I love music. I love comics. Grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I have a podcast and I talk about 80s culture, 90s culture, and that's basically me. You know what I'm saying? I just love the the 80s and 90s, old school. So
yes. So tell the folks what song you picked to talk about today, and if you remember the first time you heard it.
I picked. It was hard to get my favorites, so I just picked something that I like, but it's not really mentioned a lot, and that was SWV. Lose My Cool featuring Redman. That was from the Release Some Tension album. And I remember getting that album. I remember getting that album, from a cousin of mine, and she ended up getting it from Columbia House back in the day.
Oh, Columbia House, yeah. Talk about it.
When the CDs were like 12 cents, like a penny for like 12 CDs or whatever. And
word.
She didn't want it, so she gave it to me, and I ended up listening to it, and it was like a lot of features on it. I think that's like the most feature-driven album, and I listened to the song. That's like my favorite song on that album, and I've always been a fan of Redman and his lyricism and the stuff he's done with Def Squad and all that. And I think it was like a nice pairing, and the beat was dope. With produced by Malik Pendleton, and the video. I just found out today that the video was done by Jizza from the Wu-Tang Clan, and yeah, I didn't know that. And
there was a video.
Yeah,
horrible. I'm sorry, I hate it.
Yeah, that didn't make no sense. Like, I mean, if we got time, we can talk about the video.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't think there was one, so I didn't go look it up because I didn't know.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I didn't know. I was looking at the credits, and it said it was another guy that produced it with the Jizza, and I forgot the Jizza at that time was like directing, other videos for other artists. So, but it's always been like my favorite from that album, and that I was like, let me pick this because I really didn't. It'd be too hard to like go through all my favorites and try to pick one. So.
Yeah. So speaking of the feature, I also really love Redman. That's one of my favorite MCs. But what I liked about how they used them, especially during this time, they would just throw a rapper like at the end of a song or in between verse 1 and 2, and but the rapper wouldn't be a part of anything else on the song. So what I like here is it came in with Redman before the music even really came on, like boom, and I felt like it was his song too, instead of, oh, let's throw a rapper on this song because that's the cool thing to do right now. So I like that.
Right. And they made it fun. Like with this, they made it even funny because at the end he harmonizing with him. You know what I mean? Like, and Redman is a funny dude. He's a funny dude. So it made, like y'all said, it was a good pairing because it was like the girls, the harmonies, you can't deny SWV when it comes to their harmonies. Like it's magic, you know what I mean? But at the end, just to have him a part of that, and like you said at the beginning, he's starting it off like, yo, Coco, like he's starting it off like that, but then at the end he harmonizes with it. It's funny as hell because when they do that shit live, and I forgot what show it was, Redman was high as shit. Like he was high as shit. And Coco was like, yeah, he always high. Like she Coco during that time was being big. She was very petty during that time. So, but it is funny. I just love, like you said, it made Redman become part of the song. It wasn't like he was just featured in one part and that's it. You know what I mean? Like I like that. I like that. And the beat is tough. The beat is tough. I can't deny that. Like it hits you. And then they made Taj. They opened it with Taj.
Taj, right.
It's always Coco is the voice of SWV. We know this fine. Right. But I like that they let Taj get it on in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, okay. And then of course you gotta let Coco come in. You cannot, that's like with Teddy, you know what I mean? And Howard Melvin, the Blue Notes, it's like, all right, we want to hear Teddy, when he gonna come in, so we can hear Coco, but you know what I'm saying? So it was like, to have that, I thought it was dope. I thought it was dope. And shout out to Mary Brown that, vocally produced the record and produced the girls and all that, because she done vocally produced for every damn body. So it was like, for her to do this, and she was part of that whole bad boy thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, I thought this is actually a favorite of mine on the album because
and I saw them in concert in 2019.
Oh, okay.
Before the pandemic, because they were on the Tony Braxton tour and they performed the song. And but I wish Redman was there because Redman wasn't able to show up for that. But they were great live. Like if you ever get a chance to see them live, that definitely go see them because like they can sing for real in person, and they did all they hits, and they look gorgeous. They had like dresses on and everything. And, yeah, that was a great seeing them live finally with Tony Braxton. That was a great tour.
So they actually did Lose My Cool live?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Wow. Because we know how they go in on this album, number one, because they don't like it because they felt like it was just rappers. You know what I mean? And it was like SWV is not those girls. You know what I'm saying? They like, we got that hip hop swag, but it was just rappers and features. So I didn't even know that they actually, did the record. That's dope. I would love to see
and
that.
It's also on their greatest. I know they got like 2 greatest hits collections, and I know I think it's the Platinum Hits edition that it's on that version.
Oh, okay.
So Try, what's some other parts of the song that really stand out for you that are special for you?
Like I love the beat and the bass line. Like that bass line is real knocking, and it's like it's R&B, but it's still like hip hop enough to jump on the track and spit like 16 bars. And like Redman was always good at that. He was always good at like doing other features with other artists, in R&B, hip hop, and I think they picked the right one for that track. I mean, when I listened to Release Some Tension, it was like SWV and Friends, because it was like they had so many different rappers. E40 was on that album, and Snoop Dogg, Little Kim was on that. So I think that was like the one of the better collabs on that album, and it's always been my favorite from that album. And I don't really hear nobody mention it when it comes to SWV.
Not at all.
And I think because like, see, I didn't even like I said, like I didn't realize it was a video and all that. Because of how I felt about this album, it's not one that I have revisited a lot.
Right.
Really outside of Rain or whatever. So like, so it was dope that you picked that, because it made me go back and remember that I did really love that song. So
Oh yeah,
it's smooth. It's a smooth jam.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's a smooth joint. It's like really smooth. And again, I love when you put a collaboration that makes sense. And the collaboration made perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? Like Redman got to be him, the girls got to be them, and it's a dope joint. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, get into that video, y'all. That absolutely had to be the worst SWV video ever. I'm sorry, I love my girls, but no. I was like, what the hell is this? They're in a graveyard, yo. Like,
right.
Nah, son. Like,
I really never seen that.
No, I don't think it really came out. Like, it was out, but I don't think it was promoted like that. I don't remember seeing it like on no Video Soul. I don't remember seeing it on MTV. I don't remember none of that. So maybe a few years afterwards, they was like, yo, I was just like you, sis. I was like, yo, there's a video? It was like, yeah. And they sent it to me, and I said, I know why I didn't have to see it. I'm glad I didn't see it, because that video, and they talked about it on the Unsung. It was like an exclusive joint, and Coco was like, they was trying to put her in a grave, and she was like, oh, nah. I'm not doing that. I'm not. It's limits to this. I'm not doing it. And
what does it have to do with the subject matter?
The video had nothing to do with the song at all.
At all.
It was Lose My Cool, not Thriller.
Like and that's what I think they were going for. Like and then it just didn't make no sense. And then they walking into this like carriage or some shit, and it's just, I was like, what the? And that told me right then and there that the girls and whoever was the A&R behind it really didn't care. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I love SWV at the end of the day, but like they don't have the best videos. And that's some real to me. I feel like their videos are not all that great to me. So to me, I'm like, Rain, that's a dope video. Like, Rain is a beautiful video to me. And I was just like, that video didn't make any sense. That Diddy in a helicopter, like, what is this? Like, who is A&R in this project? And when I found out, it was Harvey Pierre. So he didn't really know the girls like that. So a lot of this stuff that they were doing just didn't make sense. And I think that's why the girls kind of really go in on this album, because I think the only song people kind of talk about off this album is Can We and Rain.
Right.
That's it. But Lose My Cool is a favorite of mine. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, yeah, this joint knock. And Redman is like on it, and he funny as hell. Like the ending, I love getting to the ending because he all off key, but it's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like it. So yeah.
And that's something he's done before. Like I remember he was on the D'Angelo remix for Me and Those Dreaming Eyes.
Me and My Dream, yeah.
And he's like singing off key or whatever. So Redman and even Eric Sermon made a habit of doing that stuff. And that's like one of my favorite parts of the song. And like you said, like the video didn't make no sense. Like you had like them Lily got bit by a vampire, then she turns into one, and Taj, she got bit by a vampire, and you know, the you got like the dancers dancing like all like zombie like in the
It was horrible, y'all.
Like, this is blowing my mind. Like, to come into the show not even knowing there was a video, and then to hear this is what's, I might not watch it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it looks like, and it also looked like it's undone. Like, there's no editing. Like, it was nothing, and you could tell that it was the beginning of the end when it came to the girls. You know what I mean? It was like, all right, now y'all are not even the focus no more. You know, it is what it is. You getting what you getting, and thank God for Rain, because it saved the album. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think this should have been a single Better Than Someone. Because you know, Tribe, you know, at the end of the day, we just heard that beat like a couple of months ago because Big used it. So it was like a lot of these were just beats that they were reusing to me. And I'm like, I get that the hip hop community loved it because it was hip hop really based, to be honest. But it was a lot of these beats like Love Like This, they using the Crush on You beat. Like, it was like, come on, y'all. That's why I like Lose My Cool, because it wasn't a recycled beat. You know what I'm saying? And it made sense. But all these other ones, I was just like, y'all, for real? Like, really? And then these videos, like, I'm like, come on. Lose My Cool should have had it could have been a dope ass video. So whoever was, and you said Guru did it?
Jizza directed the video.
Oh, Jizza. Oh, yeah. Jizza need to be shot for that one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He should have got bit in the video. Like, for real. Like, that's how bad. It's horrible, yo. Like, sis, I wouldn't even recommend you watch that joint, because you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? And you can tell the girls ain't digging it either, because they damn near don't even smile in the video.
They look bored. They look
bored. They like, okay, let's get this shit done so we can go the fuck home. Yeah. I'm done. You know what I mean? And you know Coco can't deny at all. She tells it all in her face.
Right.
But one person that does everything, and you can tell from my face, I know it. Coco, like, if we hurry up and finish this shit so I can go the fuck home, because this don't make no sense.
Nice, I go home to my babies.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? But I think Malik came together and did a dope joint, because we all know him from the Mary joint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The 7 Days joint. We know him from Lisa's, one of her favorite albums, Saturday Night from Janae, and he did For the Longest Time. So, you know, he got with the girls and did what he needed to do with them, because a lot of the sound, to me, it was all kind of similar, like 7 Days and For the Longest Time, and Losing My Cool has kind of that same type of vibe to me. You know what I mean? And it's just a vibing type of thing. So I think, you know, Malik did his thing on this.
You know what kind of video it should have had?
What?
It should have had like a That's the Way Love Goes vibe. You know, just like people just, and then, you know, Redman's busting there and they just kicking and then chilling.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Yeah.
They could have kept the budget super low and it would have been fine. Just them chilling.
It looked like they spent like a budget more on like the props,
things with it.
The graveyard, and then like there was like a black guy sitting on like a chair with like skeletons, you know, skull heads on it, and they looked like they spent a lot of money on the video, and the group just wasn't interested in doing the video.
They spent, like you said, they spent more money on the budget of the props than they did for the video. Like,
when they could have made a chill video and spent that money promoting the record more. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how more promotion actually really would have helped saved it, because it just like they didn't like the album. It didn't, and you could tell in some of the songs, not the whole album, but you could tell in some songs that, like you said, they looked at the video bored, that they were bored.
And then you look at the E40 joint. Coco was like, you know what? I'm not even singing on this. I'm not even doing it. Like, you could tell they were bored. Yeah. And then that didn't help because of the beef with them internally. And then you get an album that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? So it just messed up everything. So the whole era just messed up. And again, thank God for Rain. So it could have, at least that was the commercial hit that could have made it go gold. You know what I mean? So it was like, all right, they got something good from it. But I'm like, Lose My Cool deserves so much more. That's why I was like, yo, you picked this record. I was like, oh, Okay. He did pick a good one off the album because I'm like, please don't pick like Love Like This or Someone or something. I'm like, oh, please don't. So when I saw Lose My Cool, I was like, we in there.
But I think like looking back at that album, I think maybe the record label, it was their idea to like, you know, fill up the album with all these features because that's not SWV. They didn't do that with their first album or the second one. And you know, even the recent stuff they do now, they don't have like a whole bunch of features. And I always wondered why, you know, the record label said like, oh, we gotta have Snoop Dogg on here, and E40 and Little Kim. You know, I didn't understand that.
When we found out that they after the second album, because you see the second album didn't even last that long as far as promotion wise, because they said that the A&R left and now you got somebody new. So now, of course, you go to somebody new that don't really know you, and then they throw you with the, you know, they throw you with the bad boy people, because honestly, it sounded like a Total record. Total could have had this album, honestly.
That's true.
With all the rappers, because they clearly needed it. But
and it would have, yeah, it would have made sense as a Total album.
It would have made sense because, right, because again, I mean, in no shade, we ain't looking at them for their voices. We looking at them for the production.
And for sisters with voices, we're looking for the voices. That's what we love about them. It's not, I mean, they had great production and stuff, but you were coming to hear Coco sing, to hear the harmonies. That's what you were there for. And you stuck around for the other stuff, but that's what, you know.
And this is why this was the perfect song for that, because again, you're hearing the harmonies, which SWV really shine. So when they all together on this hook, it's like you hear Taj, Lily, and Coco, and it's like, damn, they sound good. You know what I mean? Right. And then it's just like, okay, if they would have got more of like the Lose My Cool type of production, maybe Malik could have did more. You know what I'm saying? But again, you getting an A&R that really don't know you, and they just like, again, hip hop is really mainstream now. So it's like, all right, what we gonna do? Throw rappers on it. And to me, that's kind of lazy with a group like SWV, because that's not them. You know what I mean? But again, I'm just glad you picked Lose My Cool though. Because I'd have been like, oh no. Like pick the joint with E40 or something. Look, I ain't hating all the people picks, but God, Lord, I'd have been like, oh Lord, I gotta get through this.
But yes, well, bro, it's fine. We glad to put face, name, voice all together, because you've been rocking with us hard. You
do. Yes,
we see it and we appreciate it. We love it. Yes.
I was just like just excited just to be on here when I got the DM from JR. So I've always supported his stuff.
Yeah. Of course, I was like, come on now, ain't he the Brooklyn native too? I was like, this makes it even better. I was like, yes. I was like, yo, I was like, sis, I gotta ask him. She was like, yeah, go ahead. I was like, all right. I was like, I sent it to you, and I was like, yeah, you gotta come on. You gotta come on for real. Yeah. Even though you wearing Bulls, but it's all good.
I got different hats. Like every time I wear a different hat, people always ask like, why you from New York? Why you wearing a Bulls hat or a Reds hat? And you know.
It's like, look in the back. You got your neck. You good.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch.
Yeah, you know, it might match the sneakers. It might match the outfit.
Exactly.
That part right there.
Yes, I'm all about accessories and coordinate.
Yeah, but of course you are.
Down to the sneaks. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we appreciate you, and we definitely appreciate the support, and we love meeting new people through music. Yeah. Like that's one of our favorite things. So that's dope to us.
Y'all keep doing your thing, because I'm definitely going to support the podcast.
Oh yeah, you gotta come back with another song. Yeah. That's why we tell you don't think too hard, because you can always come back with another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something more recognizable next time I'll come back with, you know.
Well, we love album cuts.
Just pick whatever just pick whatever you want to talk about, because a lot of times we introduce people through the show to songs that they don't know about.
Right.
You know, we love to celebrate the known stuff, but we like to put people on too. So.
Yeah, that part.
So if anyone would like to find you, if you want to be found, how can they find you?
You can contact me on Instagram, Triboro _Gigolo. I have a podcast on YouTube, That Ain't Rap. podcast where I talk about, music and comics and fashion and movies and it's a whole bunch of things, like pop culture. Growing up in the 80s and 90s. I'm also part of 80s, 90s, and 2000s Rob's Network. Follow them on Instagram and subscribe to the YouTube channel and on Google Play and Apple Music and Spotify and TikTok. So I'm doing like many different platforms, but you can follow me like on those two channels.
Okay, and we'll put we'll put all your info in the description so people can click it and support our other folks out here.
Yes.
Preserving the culture. Love it.
That part.
Yes. So thank you, viewers. Subscribe, share, like, all that jazz. And we will catch y'all on the next episode of Cash Tap. Peace.